Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Deleted. Me, 27 female in a relationship with 36 male for 8 years. Just found out he's living an entirely separate life with a fiancé. I met Ray back when I was 18 years old. He was in a band that I absolutely loved and grew up with. I had even had a crush on him for so long before we met. You can imagine how excited I was to be able to work with him. I had a small part in working on one of his music videos way back when, interning at the production firm that he hired with his band. We soon started dating after that, pretty inseparable. I would always hang out with him at the studio and spend time with Ray in his place or mine, just walking around, stoned, happy and in love. He basically coached me through both my undergraduate and MFA. 3 years ago, I moved in with Ray, and that has been the same situation since. I have recently been freelance writing for a couple of news publications overseas and working on selling some screenplays to some studios, and it has been such a strain on me. But Ray had been being so good to me lately, a total sweetheart. Ray is constantly on tour or working with friends or partners in California. We live in the Northeast. I'm used to him not being home or not having a necessarily consistent schedule. I don't really either. I'm sometimes in California myself with some production work I do with my old cinematographer partner. The arrangement was always nice, and it felt really good to be with someone who understood how hard it is to manage life on a creative schedule. Honestly, I figured once Ray got back from his business trip, he was going to propose to me. I know that's stupid to just assume that, but after how well things had been going with us, I was really just getting this overwhelming feeling of love and hope that I was just so excited about. However, the other day, a week ago at this point, I was browsing Ray's Instagram looking for a specific picture, and I noticed the tagged pictures tab on the top of the page. I'm kind of illiterate at social media stuff. At this point, Ray was in California overseeing some stuff with his new merch or whatever. I felt myself missing him a lot, so I thought seeing some funny, candid pictures of him would cheer me up or remind me of how cute he is. So I click on the tab and scroll down a little bit. I see a picture of this cute blonde woman, Katie, kissing his cheek. I didn't think anything of it at first. He's a relatively popular musician, not like getting on any charts anywhere, but a lot of people in a specific scene at least know of him. So I thought it was just another fan, but when I scroll down more, I see more and more pictures of this woman and him. I click on the picture of who she's tagged. As I click her profile, I'm blocked? Immediately, I got a bad gut feeling. I ended up logging out of my account and into my company's. I know, scummy, but now it seems worth it. I click on her profile and I almost threw up. Basically, besides a couple of pictures of food, scenery, or shopping haul shots, it's just all pictures of either her and Ray or just Ray. I do some more digging and I see that she and Ray are effing engaged. People are congratulating them. There's a picture of her holding up a hand with a ring up, and you can see Ray in the background smiling. I wanted to effing die right then and there. It's been 3 days since Ray has gotten back from the trip, and I don't even know what to say. He knows that I'm upset about something, I think. He wanted to have sex when he finally got home. We always have a really fun romp once he comes back, but the thought of it just made me effing sick. I don't know how to talk to him about this. I know I'm just postponing something by doing this, but I honestly have no effing clue how to approach my future. I honestly still love him so much, and the thought of being without him right now makes my head want to explode. I don't even care that he was with someone else if he would just stop doing it and apologize. I understand that humans are not inherently monogamous, and hell, I've thought about other people and even kissed someone one time during an LSD trip a couple of years ago. I never told him about that either, but this seems really unacceptable and I feel really disrespected. How could he just have this entire secret life and just hide it for so many years? As far back in her timeline, I scrolled 5 years and they had clearly been dating. I wonder if they've been together the entire time that Ray and I were together. I know this is so long and rambly, but I just need help deciding where I go from here. We live together and I don't really have housing in the area right now that would be easy for me to just go, you know? Should I just pretend I don't know anything until I can find another place and then just unload then? Should I try to talk to him now and see what's going on? Oh, this sounds like a huge mess, OP. I'm sorry that you're going through it. First of all, in order for me to give a commentary, I need to establish the baseline that I'm going to assume that you're in a semi-open or somewhat kind of relationship, because if you're okay with him having a fiance and you would take him back if he'd apologized, then I'd say you're okay with, I don't know, quote-unquote cheating, let's say. Now, if that is the case, can you also forgive the lying and the hiding and all of that? Because he did all of those things, and who knows for how long. Another way of looking at this is that you are the affair partner in his relationship with his fiance. And when you say that you love him so much, are you sure about that? Because we love the person, and you're clearly in love with somebody who doesn't exist, somebody who was supposed to be your partner, but apparently is engaged to someone else and having an affair with you. And as sad as it is to say it, you fell in love with a lie. So if I were you, the first thing I'd do is start reaching out to friends and see if they can house me. Then I'd get a lot of evidence and send it all to Katie to expose his lying ass. And what about you guys? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes and this happened to you? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. My a-hole alt says, this reads like the words of someone who's still in shock from having their life basically snatched out from right under them. You're in the denial and negotiating phase of loss, it sounds like. She's the one he proposed to, not you. Let that sink in. I would suggest going away for a few days, maybe going to visit family this weekend to adjust to your new reality, then confront him and ultimately leave him. Also, in cases like these, you'll probably be described as a close friend who's obsessed with him, but he now realizes he needs to cut contact with you, or the tried and true excuse of the crazy ex who makes up lies. Assuming his fiance doesn't already know about you. I also wouldn't have sex with him. Prongs Lover 77 says, he didn't just cheat on you with some random chick. He met someone and started a relationship with them for years and got engaged. You're the side chick. He isn't the love of your life. He is an a-hole. Have some self-respect and get effing angry. He lied to you every day for years, over and over and over again. He's all you've ever known, so I know it's crazy, but you deserve so much better. You're young and can get over all of this. Leave him. Someplinks says, if he's not monogamous, you are still not the one he is engaged with. He probably blocked you from her account, or she knows about you. Remember that fact. Quote, I don't even care that he was with someone else if he would just stop doing it and apologize. End quote. From the looks of it, he was cheating on you for 5 years and a simple apology is fine for you? Seriously? I think you are in shock and just desperate to not lose him, that you are not making any sense. You still need time to digest his betrayal, confront him, bring everything out in the open, and do not make any decisions for a couple of months. Talk to your siblings, family, and friends, and lean on them for support. Alright, well, the community was very, very clear. OP needs to dump this guy's ass, confront him or something, and then get out. Now, unfortunately, OP didn't respond to any comments, so I have no additional context to give you. So we now move on to the update, which is 2 years after the original post. Clearly, it's been a wild time since this post for me. I just want to thank everyone for reaching out to me in comments, messages, and even some off-Reddit contact I still have with some users. You all are gems and offered me tough advice at a time when I'd never thought I'd listen. I realize now I was completely manipulated by Ray for many years. I thought our relationship was common for two creative professionals. It wasn't. After I made that post, Ray was needed out in California again. It was the perfect opportunity for me to pack up all my crap and leave. Once I collected my thoughts, I reached out to my longtime friend John, actually my age, now 30, who lived in Portland at the time. He flew out to the East Coast city I used to live in with fancy maple syrup, whiskey, and my favorite coffee. I'll always remember this little detail. John helped me pack up everything, arranged transportation for me to fly back with him and my cat to live in Oregon with him, and brought me to the coast to bury a bunch of memories, photos, film reels, memory cards, etc. It was extremely cathartic. I was sober, feeling every bit of pain at that moment, but realizing it needed to happen. Once in Portland, Ray obviously came back to our former apartment and realized I was gone. Per John's idea, the only thing I left on the kitchen counter was my set of keys and a printed out picture of Kat with the engagement ring. I had blocked his number, but Ray continuously tried to contact me, first in fake consideration for my safety, then getting progressively angrier with me. He did not apologize a single time. He just got more threatening and said he was going to hire a private investigator to find me. John ended up hiring a lawyer for me to walk me through my legal options and spoke to the police about a restraining order, which we did file. It appears the order worked considering Ray has not reached out to me since he was notified. I know some of you probably wanted me to tell Kat. I'll be honest, I never did. I'm sure she eventually found out, or maybe she didn't. I have no idea what happened with them, and I have no urge to. You are all correct. I had known some of his friends, but only professionally from working with them. He rarely took me out to social events. I did know his family though. They were always pleasantly nice to me, but they lived so far away geographically that I only saw them for very special occasions. I don't know if they knew, but I don't want to hurt myself thinking about the disrespect and secrecy of everyone. I was lied to, not only by Ray, but by a group of people who I thought respected me. I found the therapist who helped me process a great deal of these emotions, but I am certainly not completely healed. I finally feel able to talk about this with you all 2 years later. It simultaneously feels like it happened just yesterday and a million years ago. Some of it feels like an extended nightmare. All I know is that I am awake now. Unfortunately, I did end up getting tested and diagnosed with HPV, which has since been treated, but I definitely got it from Ray. I was arrested that night for disorderly conduct as well because I got belligerently drunk in anger. I was sentenced to anger management classes and AA meetings. I was certainly not a full-blown alcoholic, but I realized I was numbing my pain with what I thought was recreational drinking. I have been sober for a year now, just got my year chip last week. Overall, this is a happy ending for me, I promise. I started dating John at the beginning of this year. I now understand what being in an actual loving relationship feels like. John is completely honest with me about everything, even the smallest things. He respects me and understands my past. I can't begin to verbalize how thankful I am for him and how much I appreciate him being in my life. He is my rock and was there for me since my healing process began. For the record, I'm the one who initiated the romantic contact. We slept in separate rooms, had sex with other people, and gave each other romantic advice. But at the beginning of the year, we were both single at the time. He was making breakfast in the kitchen before he went off to teach. At that moment, I just realized he was always my what-if guy since I've known him from college. I wanted him and I truly loved him. I asked him if I could kiss him, just overcome with emotion and a lost filter. He thought I was joking at first and barely looked away from his ex. But then he was like, "Wait, really?" I said yes and gave him a huge hug, then he kissed me. I felt this warmth I never experienced with Ray. Even at our best, it felt like something finally clicked. Since then, John and I have been so happy, and now I know what it's like to be with your best friend, especially someone who knows you as well as he knows me. I couldn't be happier, and for the first time, I feel valuable. I went back to school part-time to learn some coding and stuck with it. Now, my current job is paying for me to continue my schooling, and I've been doing some web design work for them as well. My boss is the most amazing woman I've ever met and totally supportive. Guys, I feel whole, I really do, but even more importantly, I feel ready to deal with anything in my future, good or bad. I've grown up in a big way, and I feel like I'm not afraid of entering my 30s. I still have a way to go dealing with an eating disorder, but I've even gained some weight. I'm proud of myself, and I'm so thankful to everyone who has helped me at all. I'm not alone anymore. Thank you for reading. Well, OP, of course this is a happy update. Congratulations! And even though we didn't get to know that you exposed Ray and his miserable life just crumbled underneath him, which is, what a petty human being like me would have wanted, I am very happy that you were able to get your life together and that you were able to start a relationship with your best friend John. So here's wishing all the best for the both of you in the future. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user IC96. Customer wants to call us every hour until her issue is fixed. Sure. So I work at a pretty big tech company as a help desk agent, and as any help desk employee, I've had my fair share of crazy customers. Like this one, who we shall call Karen. We would mainly answer the phone and emails and then log in tickets to our system for handling all the issues customers would require us to solve. Each logged ticket will cause the customer to be billed the standard help desk fee, and then it would add up depending on how long it takes, the parts needed, etc. On to the story. So one morning Karen calls in and asks about a ticket she had logged like 2 hours ago. I go and check the status and see it was a pretty standard account request for one of her employees, and it was already being handled by the team that creates these particular accounts. This account was for an outside system for which we only provide the accounts and they have their own support for problems. Due to synchronization after we create the account, it takes roughly 24 hours for it to be functional, and this is quite well known for the managers who usually request them to be created. I inform Karen that the account is being created right now and she should be getting a confirmation about it soon. I also remind her that it can take about 24 hours for it to be functional. As soon as I said these things, the tone of her voice changed immediately, and she informed me quite annoyingly that this was very urgent and it should be functional faster. We talk for a little while longer and I explain to her why exactly it takes this long. Finally, she seems to understand and we end the call. About an hour later, one of my colleagues sends me a message asking if I've talked to this lady before and tells me she's calling again, angry and demanding that the account should be made faster. Once again, they explain the same things I did and they end the call. About another hour later, I answer a call and it's Karen again, even angrier and practically yelling that the account needs to be created now. I check the ticket again and see it has been completed, so the account should be working tomorrow. I tell this to Karen and she is not happy. She starts to yell all sorts of things and says that this is not how we should do things. And again, I inform her that the system she needs the account for is not ours and this is something we can't do anything about, but she won't have it. She then calmly informs me that if this is how we do things, then she will be calling us every hour to waste our time until the account is done. I can almost hear the smirk on her face as she says this. Now, even though she was being extremely rude, I didn't want to be a douche and tried to inform her that every time she calls, we are required to log in a ticket and her company will be charged the standard desk fee. She just cuts me off and refuses to listen, so at this point I say, alright, call us if you want. So then she proceeds to call us every hour for the rest of her workday and the next morning. I get a few of her calls and just always repeat the same thing. Account will be working within 24 hours. And each time she calls me or one of my colleagues, we log in a ticket and move on. Eventually, the calls stopped, presumably because the account was finally functional and we didn't hear from her again. I haven't heard if she's got into any trouble for this, but she must have generated quite a bill for her company over nothing. Well, OP, that is an expensive lesson to learn for her, but thank you for sharing. Take care, OP. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.